It's so exciting to be able to see Christmas partly through the eyes of my 11-year-old. So we're opening the Advent calendar each morning together, and we're planning which of the services she's going to come to. She's going to read at the Christingle, for example. And we're going to have the squeeze of Christmas night where we all go to the midnight, and then we hope that she goes to sleep in time to turn into Father Christmas about 3 in the morning and then be back here for the morning service. So I'm not really expecting to sleep on Christmas night.
One of my favourite times in the parish was carols by candlelight, when the church would be absolutely packed, standing room only, lit by 600 candles. And you'd see people whose wedding you had conducted earlier in that year, or you'd see a bereaved family, and they would have made a special effort to come to church. And it was that sense of the community gathering and singing some of those wonderful, great carols.
I think that sometimes people think that the church can be a slightly formidable thing, even as a physical place. I think of a church building as a place of hidden mystery, but other people can perhaps find it a little bit scary and not sure about whether they belong. But I think one of the things about Christmas time is that we see the church at its most welcoming and most generous. So it's a great opportunity if people would like to just put one foot inside the church building. It's a wonderful opportunity to make that connection, and I'm sure that those who do will find a very warm welcome.
One of the other things I've had a privilege of doing as the Archdeacon is actually going to the 2 prisons in diocese, particularly on Christmas Day. And for me, prison is a place which can be very bleak, clearly, and a place which can often be forgotten in the public consciousness. Prisoners can be forgotten. Prisoners have no family sometimes, or they're away from their family because they're locked up, and they can feel abandoned. And actually, for me, as an outsider, to go into prison and take a service on Christmas Day in the prison chaplain to meet the prisoners reminds me, at least, and I hope them, that we haven't forgotten them, that God came to look after the vulnerable, the marginalised, the poor, as well as those who are well-heeled and wealthy. He's come for all of us, and just by going into prison reminds me of the privilege I have and the way that some people somehow manage to fall a long way, and yet God's still there for them.
One of the really great things about a church-connected Christmas is that it expands your horizons beyond your very local, perhaps just your family life, and it opens you up to the whole world in which you live. And you get an opportunity to celebrate the goodness of life with the whole community. I love the intergenerational nature of the church community, the way in which you can find yourselves at one minute watching retired people handing out mince pies to children who've come for their school carol service in the parish church, and then perhaps the next day you might see the same children singing carols at a local old people's home that the church is visiting, or perhaps serving at an old folks' Christmas tea. So you get that sense of being connected to something greater than just yourself. I think the church is really good at bringing people together, as I say, across the generations and across the whole community. I think you also do get that opportunity to get in touch with the heart of the Christmas story. There's a lot of giving that happens around the Christmas season, which is wonderful. But of course, that all rests on the great giving of God to us in Jesus. So connecting with the life of the church at the Christmas season is just a wonderful opportunity to be part of a bigger story and a bigger human community.
Don't let it stop you if you don't come the rest of the year. This is a wonderful time of year to come to church. It's a wonderful way to celebrate what it is to be human, we're celebrating the birth of a baby. We're celebrating God who became a human being, a little wordless baby. And if you value your own humanity and you think that it's important to celebrate, then come and celebrate with us, because that's what we're celebrating too.
My prayer for you at Christmas time would be that you experience some of the joy of the season, and that you discover in your lives and the lives of those whom you love the wonder of giving, the gift of God to us in Jesus, a gift that then flows through our lives into the lives of others and fills the whole world with love and joy and peace. May God's love and joy and peace be yours this Christmas time.
Is that all right? Oh,